Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about saddling your horse. There's a million different ways of saddling your horse. Everybody has their own methods, but I'm just going to show you the way that works for me and some things that make it a little bit easier on your horse. The way that I want to carry my saddle and pick my saddle up is I'm going to carry it a lot like a woman or a man would carry a baby on their hip bone. I'm going to rest it on my hip bone. I'm going to use my right hand in this instance. You can obviously change hands. I don't have to do it just for the demonstration, but with my right hand I'm going to hold onto the cantle. With my left hand I'm going to hold onto the front of the saddle, and this will allow me to carry this saddle around, to put it in any position. I can lift it up. You know, it's not very hard to throw around this way. This saddle probably weighs, I don't know, somewhere around 50 pounds. I don't really know. They can weigh anywhere up to 60 pounds. A western saddle or a roping saddle, cutting saddle, whichever it might be. You know, when you put a breast collar on, they can add a little bit of weight. So the best way that I can do it, this is the way I've been taught and I learned. I thought this was the best technique that I've, you know, been taught how to do it. So the reason I carry the saddle like this is because not only for ease of carrying, but when I step up to my horse to throw it on his back, I don't have to, I'll demonstrate. If you were to hold onto the horn in the back of the saddle, it makes it pretty hard to be able to throw the saddle on, because if you throw it, it's going to be in this position like this, or it's going to hit him up the belly. It's just hard for you to throw on. So the reason why we hold it at the back of the cantle and on our hip like this is because when it gets thrown on, you can see it's not in the position it would be on his back, but when it gets lifted up to the position that it would be on his back, it's flat. So all I'm going to do, you can get your stable with this, you can get a swing up if you need to, but all we're going to do is just basically rock a little bit, and we're just going to have to lift it up and place it on his back. You can see how it never flopped down on his back. He wasn't very worried about it. There you go, the same technique I used to take the saddle off. So I'm going to demonstrate that one more time. All I'm going to do is just your stirrup on the right side. He's just going to, with the motion, it's going to naturally want to stay out and go over his back. So I just want to skim it over his back and place it down on the saddle pad. You can see it never, like I said, didn't plopped on there and never made it hard for him. Taz was quite comfortable when it went on his back. It was in the right position, made everything easy. Right now it's not sitting in the right position. I can move it around so I feel like the saddle sits in the position it's supposed to be. You can still notice that the saddle is a little further back than it's not even at the back than what it is at the front. All I'm going to do here, the good thing is I can still move the saddle pad back and the saddle forward, and I like to pick my saddle pad up off their withers. I don't like it to be hard on their withers. I feel like as the saddle's pushing down, it might push on their withers a little bit and add, you know, some discomfort. So I use a breast collar on this saddle, but all my saddle on the right hand side, I like to hook my cinches, front and back cinch up on the keeper up here. So all I'm going to do is let them off. Now when you're on this side, this is where you can see whether you cinch. If I ride, you know, different size horses, so this is a 2-year-old, horse behind me is a 6-year-old, they're a different size around the belly. So this little D snap here, where I would you know, snap my cinch, my breast collar on here. So what you want to do is make sure this is in the middle of his chest, or basically between his legs. So I'm just going to push that underneath there, and you can put your hand on it and know whether it's in the middle or not. If it is, fine, your saddle's the right, obviously your cinch is the right length. If not, you can shorten it or lengthen it. Some people like to flip their stirrup up on the horn like this, especially on a western saddle. If you don't have a western saddle, you can just flip it over. It just gets it out of the way. I'm going to reach down with my left hand and pull the cinch up, and just basically to hold it firm. Most horses that have been saddled should be able to handle this. If you can't reach underneath there and grab your cinch, you probably need to do a lot more work before you put your saddle on. Then I like to just make sure that I get one hook on there. Now if this horse is to run off or spook or do anything like that, I've kind of got hold of it, so it's not going to fall off. Then I'll just take the end of my ladder go through the top, through the bottom again. Now I've got one full wrap on it. Now basically it'll take a little bit for that to come loose. I like to do another wrap I should say, on the saddle, and I just pull mine up so it's tight enough to where the saddle, you can see there's a gap behind there. I just like it tight enough to where the saddle's not going to move around very much while he's standing there, but it's not choking him as well. Put my ladder go through the keeper, do my back cinch up. I don't yet technically do my back cinch up tight straight off the bat. Obviously, you know, it doesn't need to be until I go to either riding or I'm going to rope something. I'm going to put my breast collar around through the D. I'm going to pull it up and make sure that the middle of my breast collar is in the middle of the chest. I'm going to go around a second time, back through my buckle and do it up. Make sure the tail's out of the way. I'm going to grab strap, click it to the middle. And that's basically it. Like I say, there's a million different ways of doing it, but you know, I think basically the easiest way, or the part of this that I wanted you to take notice of, was how I threw the saddle on there and how I carried the saddle around, because you know, there's ways of making it very difficult for yourself and ways of making it easy. Saddle's not very light, they're all heavy, so hopefully this helped, and hopefully if you didn't do it this way, you can try it, and if it works, well good, and if you find out a different way of doing it and it makes it easier for you, well then that's a good way too, but this is just the way that works for me, so hopefully it helped, and we'll talk to you next time.